He was the master that could have been the one that put Anakin in the right path. I'm talking, of course, about Qui-Gon Jinn, and this was his lightsaber. You want to come with me because we're going to be checking this one out. This one is from Corvant, and I promise you, it's totally cool.
May the Force be with you, Padawan.
Hey nerds, welcome back to the Fellowship of the Nerds. I am your host as always, Luke Skywalker, and today we have a really cool one. We're going to be checking out this beauty from Corvant Sabers. This is Master Q, Qui-Gon's lightsaber. This is the 89th version that Corvant Saber sells, and it's absolutely cool. I have so many details to go over with you when it comes to lore and behind the scenes of this lightsaber that promise you it's going to be a cool video. But before we begin, I will remind you as always, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. That always, of course, helps the channel, and you don't want to miss out the content that we do for you guys. And if you're new, just remember, or more than remember, have in mind that what we do in these videos is that we'll show you what the lightsabers look outside in the dark. We bring them back inside. We go around the sound fonts and all that sort of good stuff. We show you a little bit of how the lightsaber works. We rate the lightsaber based on a few things, and ergonomics and sound and on design, and then we give you, based on that rating, we give you a recommendation as if you should be buying that lightsaber or not. I can tell you right now that this is a lightsaber that you're going to want to have, and let me unbox it for you so you can see why. Okay, here is Qui-Gon Jinn's Corvant's by 89 sabers. You're gonna get your hilt, you're gonna get the pommel here, your retention screw, your wrench, your charger, pretty much everything you need to make this one a really cool experience. So let's unwrap this and show it to you guys, because this thing is super cool. And here it is. Look at this absolutely cool lightsaber. Super cool. You have your aux button hidden here, like camouflage there, but it's there, trust me. And then you have your main button being the button that you would expect to be the main button. We have seen this already before. We saw this, I think it was the second review that we ever did of a lightsaber, because we started with episode 1, Obi-Wan, and it only made sense that, you know, we'll then do Qui-Gon. But this thing is so much different and better than that version. That was the LGT version, if I recall correctly. And this thing that Corvant sells with pretty much a collaboration, Corvant 89 Sabers, is absolutely cool. First of all, I'll draw your attention to something, which is the blade plug. Now, this is the official blade plug that it's supposed to be the blade plug of this lightsaber, but of course when you see it like this, you go like, wait a second, this, you know, this doesn't go with this. What's up with this? And this is of course because we've seen it, like I mentioned on the previous video that Liam Neeson has this replica that was given to him after he did the movie, and you know, he was showing it, I think it was on Jimmy Fallon, and it had this, right? So like the emitter looked like this. However, if you look at the behind the scenes videos, and I want to tell you exactly the one that you're probably going to be seeing on the screen right now, is the behind the scenes video of when Ewan McGregor chose his lightsaber, and he was very close to choosing this one because they were rehearsing, and all the hilts that they were using for rehearsal were Qui-Gon's hilts, and but he almost chose that. He obviously ended up choosing the one we all know. But if you look in the video, you're going to see that the emitter that they're holding, right, as they're talking and stuff, is not golden at all. It's silver. It's pretty similar to Obi-Wan's blade plug, as it should be, which is silver, and that's the reason why the one that we have has a silver blade plug. So very curious and very interesting that they decided to go with this, even though what they were actually using on set didn't have it, or at least that's what the video shows. Like, I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, please leave a comment and tell me, you know, if I am, and tell me also which ones you prefer. Do you prefer this or you prefer a silver one? I'm gonna go with this because it's what Liam Neeson has in on his desk, but I do acknowledge that, you know, if you look at the behind the scenes footage, is not showing this color, so there's that. Now I'm going to show you. Usually we're so used to whenever we accident our lightsabers that we just, you know, unscrew here or unscrew somewhere here to pull out a chassis. This is entirely different. This, you're going to want to unscrew the emitter, like the entire thing. You are going to unscrew that, and that's going to reveal your chassis. And it's a very interesting chassis from 89 Sabres with a connector like this. Instead of the usual pins that you'll find, you know, with the black pin and stuff, it is this. So pretty simple. The problem is that this means that this core does not have a speaker. So whenever you turn on your kill switch, nothing happens. You get the light and everything, but like, it makes no sound because obviously the speaker is inside of here. So we're going to plug it back in. And that's it. But
my only conclusion can be that it was the Sith Lord.
This is one of the post-off sounds that we included from the set that this lightsaber brings, which is the Reavers Qui-Gon Jinn sound font. Absolutely cool, and I'll leave a link in the description as to if you want to get that particular sound font. But this will come with all the usual sound fonts that you can expect from Corvans. I'm not going to go through all of them because I've seen them in other videos, and you'll find if you want to see one that features them all, you can see it. It'll be here or here if you're looking at it from this video from a cell phone. If not, it'll be in the description. You can see the entire showcase. But we will be focusing on the Qui-Gon, and this is the one that comes with this lightsaber. So absolutely cool. It is a bit tricky with the AUX.
Power.
You want to
Don't center on your anxieties, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs.
And of course, you'll see your, you know, the thing from this. So totally cool. Like, do not get me wrong.
My only conclusion can be that it was the Sith Lord.
What do you say if we put a blade on this? We take it outside. I'll show you what this looks like in the dark with the smooth swing and everything, and then we'll bring it back inside. We'll look at the exact same thing again indoors, and then we go over our ratings.
We'll handle this. You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan, and you're a much wiser man than I am. I foresee you will become a great Jedi Knight.
Did I not tell you that it was going to be cool? This thing is phenomenal in so many ways that I can't even begin to tell you. Let's try this again with the sound font, now that we have our blade. So freaking cool.
My only conclusion can be that it was the Sith Lord.
Now let's go over some force effects.
That'll complicate things. That'll complicate things. My only conclusion can be that it was the Sith Lord.
This thing is absolutely cool. A few things I will point out about this, and we'll go over to our ratings. Because of the fact that this is sort of a shell-ish, if you will, and this has this Convertech adapter, you really have to have it really tight, because otherwise the vibration of the sound can make it vibrate. It sounds a bit, you know, like something is there. So I don't want to say that that's a flaw in the design or anything like that. It's just a reminder you have to really adjust that. But other than that, I am going to give this lightsaber, when it comes to design, a 10 because it's flawless in my opinion. Like, it is exactly as you would expect a Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber to be. So in terms of design, definitely a 10, a real knockout. When it comes to sound, another 10. Great sampling from Reavers, and obviously all the rest of the samples that we get from Corban. So totally cool. And I know that, you know, the speaker is not connected or is not part of the chassis. Some of you might say that, well, that automatically is you know, lowers my rating, but it's just a design choice. So I'm not really gonna, you know, be too precious about it, in the sense that there are other sabers out there. I can think, for example, Balen Skulls from KR, that the speaker is literally an entirely separate piece on the pommel, and you turn it on and you have to like basically make the pommel get in contact with the speaker so there's a lot of worse options in my opinion. So this is not a problem for me, and in sound I will give it a 10 because it sounds great. It has a sound font of the character, and it has a really good sound font, and then you have all the other sound fonts. Absolutely not a problem in my opinion. Where I'm not going to give this a 10, and it's going to be in ergonomics. In ergonomics, this thing is going to get an 8.5. And you're going to ask me, why? Is it that heavy? Surprisingly more than you would expect. Like, I wouldn't, do not get me wrong. The previous version that we saw, which was the LGT, that thing was a beast. That thing was really heavy. I would have given that a 7 when it comes to ergonomics. But this one I'm going to give it A because it's not as bad, but it's still, in my opinion, too heavy for what it should be. So when you're swinging about, it's not as pleasant. I mean, it's not unpleasant, but you'd expect this to be a bit more, I'm gonna say user-friendly, if you will, when it comes to how it swings about. Because it's not a complicated lightsaber. It's not a lightsaber that you'd expect that, you know, will have a lot of things going, and it doesn't really have a lot of things going. I can think, for example, of the Rey Scavenger lightsaber from KR. That thing has a bazillion things going with it on a hilt, so it does make sense for that to be a bit cumbersome and a bit not really the nicest to swing around. But you'd expect something with such an elegant yet discreet design to just be easy to swing. And it's not that it's hard, but it's not really that light to use. So that was kind of a shock to me. And again, it's not as bad as the LGT version. The LGT version would have gotten easy a 7 tops. This gets an 8, but that's as far as it goes. It gets an 8. So when it comes to the entirety of our ratings, you're going to see it here. Really not that bad. It's still above a 9, so I think that's absolutely no problem. And of course, because it's above a 9, it's going to be recommended from the Fellowship. And if you want to get this lightsaber from Corban, you can use the discount code that you're going to be seeing here on the screen, Fellowship, to get 15% off of this one. And to be fair, guys, to get an 8 sabers for this price with, you know, all the suite of sound phones that you get, considering that usually these sound phones on average, they will cost you, you know, any sound phone that you get out there on average, it will cost you around $10. Some will cost you a bit more, some will cost you a little bit less, but let's say on an average, you get over 30 sound phones on this. So just on sound phones alone, like, you're pretty much paying for the entire thing. And yet you have the, you know, the internal components of 89 sabers, everything put together with Corban, so you know it's going to be all around absolutely cool. But if you can get that with a 15% off, then why wouldn't you? And you can use our code to do that. So, because in this day and age, every little helps. And nerds, that's our review. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you find it interesting. I hope that you find all the trivia behind the scenes and all the stuff around with the blade plug interesting. I always think that there's still a debate for me, and sure enough, I will keep the golden, bronze, whatever you call it, brass color blade plug, because it's the one that, you know, looks the closest to what Liam Neeson has on his desk. But you know, I do have the notion that when they were using this, it didn't have that. It was just like silver cap. So there's that. But you'll have to tell me which one you prefer. I made my choice, and I'll die on that hill for better or worse. But let me know what you guys will do, and let me know if this one is a lightsaber that you will be considering picking up, because I think it's absolutely worth it, and I again will 100% recommend it. Nerds, I've been your host as always, Luke Skywalker. Remember, the Force will be with you always. Remember to live long and prosper, and may the odds be ever in your favor, Melanin. And until we meet again, mischief managed. I'll see you around, nerds.